Welcome back, everyone, to Get Your Kicks at 66. Remember, get out and enjoy life a little. Today we're going to take you down to Fort Smith, Arkansas, where the hanging judge, known as Judge Isaac Parker, was famous for hanging the people in the Oklahoma Territory to the west. Hope you enjoy. As we approach the building, you can see down below the white section on the right with the stairs going above. That's the section where the holding cell was for the prisoners as they waited to get their judgment in the upper chambers. This is the place where the judgment happened, where Judge Isaac Parker provided over the hearings to find out if they were guilty or not, to hang them in the courtyard. Here you see some actual documents from the time period, and they're very interesting to look through. Hope you get a chance to come see these someday. This was a walk downstairs heading towards the holding cell where they held the prisoners until the judgment day. This room was known as Hell on the Border. Several of the big criminal names were held in this cell, and as you can see, they're all rock floors with just blankets and blankets for pillows. This is a pass-through door, where from the outside I showed you that white building. This is where they came in. They'd lock the outer door, unlock the inner door, and let them enter. You can see the confines weren't very pleasant. On the way out of the holding cell, they have a poster from the movie Hang 'em High, starring Clint Eastwood. It's kind of interesting that they put this in the main hallway to the holding cell. Many of us remember this movie. It's a fun movie to watch. These are the cells that they were held in, awaiting a trial upstairs in the trial chamber. This is where they would go, and then they'd get their final orders, and they'd hold them here for the trial. If they were found guilty, they would be held there till they're hanging. Here you have photos of the two of the most famous U.S. Marshals, Bud Ledbetter and Frank Dalton. Now we're going to head outside to where the gallows actually were, where Judge Parker would nod his head and they'd pull the handle and hang them in right here in this very courtyard. This white fence was not up back then. It has been constructed so people don't vandalize it and tear it up. Enjoy. Hope you enjoyed this tour today. I hope you get a chance to come to Fort Smith, Arkansas and view this for yourself someday. And now we're going to have just a few words from Pastor Mark Morgan.
How you doing? Glad to be with you again. This is Mark. I want to share a very small piece of my personal testimony because I've been talking to people in the barbershop. I talk about the barbershop a lot because I'm there a lot, right? And I see the people that I see, and God brings people to my chair, and I don't think it's just for a haircut. I mean, I do give them a haircut, but I think it's a divine appointment. I pray for that every day. I encourage you to do that too. So I'm sharing with people in the shop, and they're telling me that they are worried about what's going to happen when they meet Jesus face to face. It's a good thing to be worried about. Make sure you're on track, right? So I want to share this with you. When I was about 14, my goal, I haven't shared this very often, but I'm just going to be real with you. My goal was to be a Hell's Angel. What? Come on, who does that? But that was that was the people I was around at that time. They were that type of people. So anyway, long story short, my best friend and I, that's what we started to hang out with bikers. And eventually we found some friends that were part of the Red and White, the Hells Angels. And we became friends with one of these men, and his name was Blind Bob. This was in Southern California. So they had a clubhouse in Fontana, California, sitting on top of a big hill. There's one way up and one way down, for the obvious reasons. Okay, so they invited us, my friend and I, and by this time we were probably about 15, maybe 16. I think we were 15. They invited us to go to the clubhouse. I'm excited. Can you believe this? So long story short, we're going up to the clubhouse, my friend and I, and two red and whites, and then Blind Bob, which is the guy we knew, to the clubhouse in Fontana. And the closer we get up there, the more fearful I got. Because when we saw these guys coming up and down on their bikes, these guys were mean. They looked mean because they were mean. They're evil, right? Dark people. And so we got to the top of the clubhouse, and there's this big giant patio, and we parked the car over here in the patio, and then there's, I can't remember exactly, I think it was about 7 or 8 about the clubhouse. They came out, and they pulled their pistols, and they said, "Hey, who are you?" Because they didn't see the Blind Bob, the guy that brought us up there. And I was scared. I said, this was my goal? What the heck? And they were surrounding the car. And I looked at Woody, he looked at me, and I said, what did we do? This is ridiculous. I was really scared, very scared. I thought I was going to die, as a matter of fact. And then Blind Bob, he comes out of the car, and he says, "Hey, it's okay. They're with me." And as soon as he said that, we were like gold. We were like gold. Couldn't do anything wrong. And they would be protective of us, and we were invited in, and we did some stupid things because we weren't saved back then. And then we went home, and I thought, well, this is not good, and I didn't go back up there because it was too scary for me. The reality of it was, hey, these guys are a real deal. So you say, well, why are you saying that, Mark? Funny you should ask. One day, every person that's listening to this video, or not, is going to meet Jesus face to face. Now let's just make this as practical as we can. Let's just say we go up to the gates, the pearly gates, and there's somebody there as the gatekeeper. And they're going to say something like this: "What do you guys want?" I say, we're into the kingdom. We want to come into heaven. I say, well, why should we let you do that? And then we get kind of worried. Well, maybe we're in the wrong place. We're supposed to go down to hell. And then Jesus will come out, and he'll say, "It's okay. They're with me." I promise you, if you have the point in time when you don't trust Jesus to be everything that you need to get you to where he wants you to go and to where you need to go, you'll be just like I was, scared to death. But when you have Christ in your heart now, not then, now, you can be confident. Someday, he's going to put his arms around you. He's going to say, "Back off, enemy, back off, Satan, back off everything. He's with me." Till next time, God bless.
Just want to thank everyone for watching today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Remember, like, subscribe, and follow us on YouTube. Got some interesting subjects coming up very soon. Remember, get your kicks at 66.